Bitcoin. What's going on, guys? Ken. Ken was one that I was not going to put on my list. More Petrus and Clay. You guys are funny. Alrighty, I'm here at Amazing Coffee. It's amazing. Here with a couple of people on the Vietnamese team. But I'm gonna go set up upstairs because it's a little bit quieter. They got Whitney Houston on blast in here. But I got a lot of things that are loaded up I wanted to talk about today. So I'm gonna give you guys some insights on that. See you guys. Nice and cool out here. We got birds out here. It's a nice little spot. So I've got a bunch of different coins like loaded up I wanted to talk about. And basically, first part of this video, I'm going to start by talking about the inverse market cap coins. So I think this is going to be one that I'm going to do as like a series. I'm going to do this and go over from coins 81 to 100. So I know some of you guys are talking about Ken. Ken was currently in the 80th position, so I left that one off the list. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start to kind of document those maybe on a weekly basis. But the graph that I had shown you guys about 2 days ago on this article that I found, I think was really indicative, in my opinion, of kind of where the opportunity is in the market. So we're looking at the weighted market cap of the top 20 coins, evenly distributed across the top 100. So you put in an equal position in all of those small market cap coins, or if you had done the inverse market cap, thank you. And then weighted by market cap of the top 100 coins, i.e. if you had put in a larger position into Bitcoin and Ethereum as opposed to like some of the smaller coins that I'm going to go over. So the top 80 coins, just so you guys can get a little bit of a view. So we're starting at 81. So Ken was 80th. So I'm going to leave that off the list. So we're looking at Power Ledger, Singularity, Smart Cash, Mono, all the way down the list. So we're going to be doing 81 through 100. And if you look at the description below, what I did was I broke out my favorite 5 out of those 20 coins, my top 5. And if you notice the trend, all 5 of those are privacy coins. I think that there's going to be the most amount of opportunity in those coins. If I was going to look at putting a position in some of those coins, I would put the largest position in those coins, in those top 5 that I have outlined below. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over those a little bit. So first one is Smart Cash. Smart Cash is one that's kind of been trending from time to time in the market. Most of the volume right now is in Crypto Bridge, hit BTC. There's a little bit of activity in Coin Exchange. All of these coins have anywhere between about 150 million to 300 million market cap. And all of them, even in this red market that we're seeing, have performed fairly well when you're looking at the market as a whole. There's been a lot of coins that have seen double-digit dips, and some of these markets, the only one that's really seen a double-digit dip today has been Funfair. So several of the coins are up. You know, right now, Game Credits, Enigma, Monocoin, Singularity.net, Ken's up pretty big today as well. But what I'm saying is that I'm going to be looking at the ones that are in that position. So Power Ledger right now at a $232 million market cap, and the 100th coin is $165 million market cap. So that's like 150 to like 230. It's kind of a range right there that you're looking at. And so one of the things that I'm going to be looking to do is putting in a little bit into coins that I like in that position. When they break out, you can hold, or you can potentially capture some of those profits and maybe reinvest into those $80 to $100 price range coins, and kind of in that mid-market area. That's kind of a much smaller mid-market. Typically, when I've talked on my streams, the mid-market has been the 20th coin to the 50th coin. So they've been kind of bigger positions. But I think what I'm going to be doing now is just kind of looking at how some of those are trending. So I have Smart Cash, Enigma, MadeSafe, Particle, and Game Credits. All 5 of those are privacy coins, and all of them kind of serve a little bit of a different purpose. MadeSafe has been on the market quite a long time, has performed pretty well, and it was as high as like 10th in the market cap, and at some point, let's see here, it peaked in 2016, and it's just had some different activity. Its Bitcoin price has fluctuated quite a bit. You can see here, the orange line is the Bitcoin, kind of comparison. So the market's kind of been all over the place, but this is dating all the way back to July 14th. So let's just take a look at the last 3 months. It's gone up a little bit. Clover, when you make a profit on altcoins, do you sell or invest in Bitcoin from profits? Typically what I'll do is I'll cap trades at, maybe like a 20 or 30%, sometimes like a 10% rise, depending on kind of, where I see it progressing or trending. I'm kind of waiting for it to hit a certain price point. And then, yeah, I think I would get out. I think one of the things I'm going to be looking to do is, when, kind of like I just mentioned, is that I'm trying to invest in some of these smaller market coins, and then once they hit a certain price point, like they jump out of the top 80, or they're in the top 80. They've kind of gotten out of that 80 to 100th position, and once they've progressed a little bit, I might capture a little bit of profits there, and basically then reinvest into some of those smaller market cap coins. And that kind of helps you diversify. It helps you get into these really small markets. And I think holding small positions in a lot of those coins can be really advantageous. It helps you from some of these really bearish markets. It protects you a little bit more the more you're diversified. I think one of the things though now that you're seeing is the market cap as a whole is at like 400 billion. So it really has retracted quite a bit. There's been a few people that have been predicting this. I honestly didn't see it coming down this hard, but it's been hitting the market pretty hard. More yesterday. Yesterday was really the big red day. It's stabilized a little bit here, but I think you're seeing some of the larger market cap coins in the top 10 are really susceptible to some of these huge price swings that we're seeing in the market. And so that's kind of where, maybe getting out of positions or having larger stores in some of these major coins might not be your best strategy long term. I'm seeing a lot more opportunity in these smaller market cap coins. So I appreciate you guys leaving your comments below if you're watching this stream after the fact. Let me know kind of what you think on some of these different projects, kind of where you're seeing different things. There's a lot of coins that were much lower on this list not too long ago. They're now trending pretty high. So just kind of keep that in mind. What's going on? Yeah, Marine buddy just posted a video about Devore. I think he's trying to be this. He's carving out a niche for himself, trying to be this kind of guy that's keeping crypto in regulatory compliance. It's a tall task to order. This is a worldwide market. I think I think you're seeing that is going to be a trend this year. You know, unfortunately, with what happened with a lot of these lending platforms, they are taking much more of a criticism. People don't trust them as much anymore because of the fallout of the biggest one. You know, how that's going to sort itself is still not sure how that's all going to work. But you know, this is my amazing coffee. You see a little bit of the coffee here. But, I mean, he's gonna have his own opinions on things. Doesn't mean he's right. You know, he's gonna. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I like hearing different perspectives on some things. I saw a really good one by Adventures in Bitcoin. I really liked what he was doing. He's doing like the BCC rich list. You guys should search for that. That's an interesting little analysis. If you know, if in fact it holds up and it's true, and that would be really unfortunate. But that's why I think you see me focusing where I'm focusing now. I think these coins in the 81st to 100th position, if you spread out your capital a little bit into these different coins, I think you're going to do a lot better than you would have done in a platform like BitConnect or any other lending platform for that matter. So I know it's super late for you guys. The BCC bitch list. Yeah, well. Yeah, BCC X is still selling out daily within an hour, even after all this shit. So, what's going on, Mike Weber? Good to have you on. Do you have a Telegram group? I'm getting into Telegram. I'm actually in a couple of Vietnamese Telegram groups that are talking about crypto with some of the guys here. So I'm going to be looking at doing some different things. Like I just got my computer set up, all my computer screens, all my computer equipment. Unfortunately, it's Saturday here, and the computer stores and tech stores that I need to get into, or I guess they're not open Saturday, Sunday. So I got to wait until Monday so I can just so I can even power on my computer. I'm gonna do some workarounds to do it for right now, but I want to get it hooked up to a UPS to protect all my electronics and whatnot. The outlets and everything aren't as great here in Vietnam compared to Malaysia or the Forest City area I was in. Much bigger, more robust. These are these plugs here, these super industrial plugs. So they don't really have that here in Vietnam. This is more of the plugs you're seeing, like these two, and they don't even really work that great. But I got some workarounds, so at least I can get the thing powered on and start trading a little bit and following some of my own advice. But yeah, these are the positions I was in, kind of wanting to talk about. And I think the next thing I wanted to talk a little bit about as well, since I have you guys on, was some of the different ways of socializing, so social apps. So some of the ones I'm looking at, since I've been traveling around in Asia, I'm in a lot of different ones right now. So I'm in Messenger, WhatsApp, Zalo, Viber, WeChat, Telegram, Slack, Discord, and a little bit in Snapchat. I usually just use more Snapchat just so I can get the video or whatever. But that is right there. That is 9 channels, and that's not even including the 5 that I've primarily been marketing on, which have been YouTube, Twitter, SteemIt, Instagram, and Facebook. So those 5 right there are basically have been my primary modes of communication. Right here in Vietnam, the big ones tend to be Zalo. Zalo is really the big one here, and Viber. So Line is another popular one. Messaging app used a lot in Japan. Okay. What's interesting about some of these ones, so Telegram and Viber actually allow you they kind of work a little bit more like a social app. Like you can connect to people that are right around you. It searches for people that are right around you. So some of these people in Vietnam that like I recognize their faces because I'm around them a lot with the teams here and whatnot. But like I don't know how to pronounce their name or whatever. But at least I can pull them up on my phone, and allows us to kind of communicate a little bit like that. Yeah, Clover, thanks for the info. Love your vids, even if I have to stay up late as fuck to watch. Yeah, I am, my apologies for that. I mean, gosh, it's what, like 2 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time, so I know I've just been getting later, been going later and later, so it's a good time for me. I know I don't get as many people on as I would if I had done these earlier, but I don't care at this point. I'll get up earlier, sooner or later. I watch the recordings more than the live shows. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Like I'll put out a live stream and maybe get a few hundred views or whatever, and I'll check back a day later, and it's gotten a lot more views. So like in the thousands, and so that tells me that people aren't really watching them, you know, when I'm going live. And one of the things I've recommended for people that are watching my live streams after the fact is get used to using like these settings. So you can speed it up to like 1.5. You can kind of skip through my videos a little bit more. So I'm talking, you know, about something that's not really of interest to you. You can fast forward a little bit and kind of skip around, and you kind of get into the meat of some of the things I'm talking about. But line is where women go to cheat. Yeah, I mean the other two are the other two social apps I didn't mention, but I actually use quite a bit are Tinder and Vietnam Cupid. Vietnam Cupid. I've been blowing up in Vietnam Cupid. Like that's the #1 dating app in Vietnam, and so I'm in there, and I get a lot of messages, and it's kind of interesting to see how that works. So there's some gorgeous women in Vietnam, some really beautiful women. Yeah, there's one chick that used to talk about BitConnect and played the videos at super fast speed. Yeah, like that 1.5, I kind of like that 1.5. You have to really be attentive to it. It's like sometimes you can just kind of drown it out if you're not really listening to it. But for me, that helps for, like when I watch videos, I'm watching live streams or something of people, like that's what I do. I think that's a good one. Is there a Vietnam Cupid ICO? Yeah, there should be. They're like an international brand though. Like they do, I've noticed it in, I think they have like the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia. They got a few other ones, and it's all the same company, I can tell. So they do some things in Southeast Asia, it looks like. But in terms of like the social apps that I like the best, and I think Slack has some interest. Like it's almost kind of like a workflow type app. So you guys, like, I don't know if I can bring this up here on my computer. A lot of this stuff's on my phone, so it's a little bit, might not come up the best. Where work happens is kind of their slogan. So you can see here, you can do some different things with your workflow. See some different, you know, some big companies use this. So Slack is good. I've been using Telegram quite a bit. Telegram has some privacy features, encryption features. So I've been using that for certain things. Viber also has some of those encryption protocols. So Viber is one I just got into the other day, and I was just getting into it to talk to some of the girls that I've been messaging on Vietnam Cupid. So typically I get into either Zalo or I get into Viber to talk to them, and then I have to, when I'm talking to them, I have to translate everything into Vietnamese using my Google Translator app. So I try to talk in a way where the translator app will understand what I'm saying and translate it correctly. Because if you try to make it too complicated, it just doesn't translate right, and then they don't know what the hell you're saying. So you might as well have just said it in English. So, but it works pretty well. just so you guys can kind of see Viber. Viber has a desktop app. I guess the one I should have included was Skype. Skype is the one. So that's basically rounding out the top 10. Let's see if this will work. Let me in. I gotta scan a code, so I can't do that while I'm on here. But this is Viber, you can see here. So I'll let you kind of get into that a little bit. So interesting little app. Some of the other ones, WeChat, these are gonna have some different applications for different services. So like, there's a WeChat one here. Again, it's doing a QR code. I think I probably shouldn't be showing my QR codes here, but WeChat is a good one. So you can see here, this is what the logo kind of looks like. This is very big in China. WeChat is a Chinese multi-purpose social media application, developed by Tencent. So it's going on for a little while. But those are the 10 I'm using. If you include the other, there's 15 different social apps that you can get into. So I'll have those listed in the description below. I might have to update it after this stream. So those are some of the things I wanted to kind of look at, were the top 15 social apps and the basically 15 coins that out of the top 20 I think you should be investing in, or basically putting a little bit of Bitcoin into, and just playing with those coins a little bit, and just making sure you monitor the market to see kind of where those are trending. But I think those coins in the 81st to the 100th position are good ones to be looking into. So let's take a look at the ones that are not the privacy coins. So moving back a little bit, we have the mid position inverse market cap coins. So I'm calling those IMC. Singularity.net, Power Ledger, Zcoin, Gnosis, and Ikiomi. Now I based my decisions on those 5 coins out of the next 15 based on kind of my market experience of seeing them trend at different times in the market. I've seen pretty much all of those coins, maybe with the exception of Singularity.net. Singularity.net's really been the recent one that's been trending. But Power Ledger, Zcoin, Gnosis, Ikiomi, these have a little bit of history. They've been in the market a little while, and they've done really well at certain times. And so that's why what I'm looking at is, like, if you're looking at the inverse market cap, and you're looking at 20 coins, you have 5 in each category. What I'm doing is I'm taking the top 15, and I'm weighting it a little bit heavier into the privacy coins. I'm looking at these mid-market coins. I really like those ones I just mentioned. And then we're gonna look at the smaller position coins. So the smaller position coins are gonna be Ignatius, Nexus, NXT, Bancor, and Redcoin. Now, those ones maybe don't have as much, or actually those ones are the sideline positions ones. Those are the ones I'm looking at basically staying on the sidelines for those. So I was reading the wrong ones. So the small position market cap coins, I'm gonna be doing 10x, Wax, Monocoin, Request Network, and Funfair. Funfair is down quite a bit today, but it's still one that I like. I think it's gonna be a good buying time for Funfair. But again, only putting in a little bit. I like the privacy coins in that range a little bit better than these ones. Request Network looks interesting. I was kind of looking at their website a little bit. Monocoin has been on the market a long time, and was in the same exact position a year ago. If you're looking at the 80th to 100th position, I think it was like right in there at 90. So it hasn't really changed a whole lot. Wax coin and 10x was the one with a lot of ICO money backed behind it, and then you also have Wax that has kind of its own market. It's the number 100th position, so it'll be interesting to see how that trends moving forward. Most of the activity with Wax is all in China and Yobi. You can see V-Box, a few others. But I'm checking with the chat a little bit. Power Ledger, yeah, Power Ledger is a good one. It was the largest one. That was the 81st position, so Power Ledger is a good one. Have you read the papers on those? Or are you just looking at charts? Yeah, I haven't really looked at the papers. What I've been looking at primarily is how they've been trending in the market. I don't typically look a whole lot into the inner workings of the white paper in terms of how they're explaining how their coin is solving a different problem. For me, I'm much more interested to see how that actually plays out in reality. So a lot of that stuff is going to be more of a template for how it's going to perform in the market. It doesn't necessarily tell you what the price is going to be. Like, it may give you a little bit more validity in the platform, for sure. Like, you know, if you think that the white paper is going to give you some more information on that, but in a lot of ways, the white paper is just marketing. So it gives you a little bit more of an official stance, but I tell you what, there's a lot of, you know, Asian cultures and Asian communities that, like, they don't really care about that type of information as much as, you know, we might care about that in the West. Funfair has huge potential because gambling will never go away. Yeah, I agree. I think Funfair and game credits, like those markets are really good. Game credits going a little bit more after the gamer market. I heard the Chinese all agree on something and it gets adopted fast. I would agree with that. I think that there's China, if you see a lot of momentum behind something, it tends to really kind of, you know, grow. I think you'll see that in different markets. Let's see if I can find a good example of that today. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Thank you. Trying to find a good example here. Most of this is Korean, a bit. It's really interesting. Looking at the market, and I think this is why you're seeing the market is really down today, is when you're looking at these major exchanges here, it's all, the top pairs are kind of going into Tether, they're going into USD. You can see this is the Korean won and up bit. But yeah, a lot of money going into Tether, a lot of money kind of going into, you know, Bitcoin. I think a lot of money just kind of retracting from the market a little bit. You can see here the top three pairs, all of these in USD. I think that, you know, you're starting to see these Korean ones still trending pretty high, GDAX and USD. You've got Kraken is also trading against the Euro, USD. And you kind of have to come down here a little bit to Huobi, which is the Chinese exchange, again, trading a lot into USD. And so this is USD, Tether, those two platforms. I think you're seeing a lot of money exiting the market. And so that's kind of a newer trend that we're seeing. A lot of times we were seeing drawbacks in the market where capital was kind of liquidating, but it was more liquidating into other alt currencies. Right now, you're seeing it getting out and getting into fiat currency. And I think a lot of that could be due to some of the activity we're seeing in the futures markets. There's some different theories about, kind of market manipulation with cryptocurrencies in general. You're a little bit more protected the more you diversify. And that's kind of the point of this video, kind of what I wanted to be talking about, diversifying into these inverse market cap coins. I think taking a little bit of a better position on that, and also kind of looking a little bit over the social media apps. I think that those are going to be key to the growth of cryptocurrencies over the next 5 to 10 years. the adoption of cryptocurrencies in some of these different platforms as things become like illegal or what have you. Even if it's just something just to send your address to, that might be something you start seeing. I'm checking on the chat a little bit. Current media or trend it? I don't know those ones. Okay, here's an interesting article. What I thought it was going to be. Twitter, digital hangouts, Gen Zenners, Sprout Social. I mean, so a lot of these are obviously going to be in English. They don't necessarily have the same adoption in non-English speaking languages. So I was trying to find something that's a little bit more unbiased. I'm not finding much on Trendit. Let's see here, but let's look into current media. Current media looks like so it's kind of like an all-in-one app. Oops. IT difficulties. There we go. Current. Let's see. Spotify, YouTube, Soundtrack, PayTrack, Twitter, radio, all in one. Can you pay for anything in crypto in Saigon? Essentially it's illegal, right? So they're kind of cutting off the transactional points, but it's basically just a peer-to-peer thing. So people, like if I want to buy, like if I want to get some Dom or something, I can send one of my buddies, you know, some crypto, and have them pay me out in Dom. I'm trying to get banking. Trying to get a bank account. I think that'll help some of the things I'm doing. Neblio. Let's take a look at Neblio. Neblio. So yeah, that's right on the cusp. This looks like it's was in that range, like that 8,200 market cap position. Now sitting at 163 million in its market cap. As you can see, it's kind of pumped here back in, what was that? That was, you know, January, kind of that mid-January. We saw a lot of coins pumping kind of in that time, and it's come back down. So. But it's probably one that's going to enter the 81st to 100th position, so it's probably something I may take a little bit more of a look at as it starts to trend up. I think I was going to think, like, once I find a coin that breaks into the top 100, I'm going to start taking a little bit more notice to it. See here again, you know, here's this Neblio. I was just scrolling down the page. And what do you have? Join our Slack, join our Telegram, join our Discord. So those are the three ways that you're seeing these websites are trying to create community. They're trying to create ways for people to interact, ways for people to get involved. You know, they've got, you know, their white paper and roadmap, and they have their wallets. So those three seem to be pretty central pieces to these projects. Doesn't necessarily make them more legitimate if they have like a more defined you know, white paper. I mean, I think that there's, you know, you can put anything on paper and claim, you know, everything you want. I want to see more of, you know, that put in action. I want to actually see, you know, performance from these coins, whether it's in the market or whether it's just in your marketing. That's I think what I want to see when I want to start getting into these different coins. So so that's kind of where I'm looking at this. But right after this stream, I'm going to be heading back, setting up my trading station that I've got set up in my little studio, and getting it all set up. I was talking with a bunch of the guys on the Vietnamese teams here before about doing this type of trading, because a lot of these guys in Vietnam weren't as diversified, I guess you could say. So a lot of them, you know, they still are trying to fully comprehend, you know, what has gone on with BitConnect. Especially a lot of these guys, like, they were really only in a couple of coins, maybe BCC, maybe Bitcoin, maybe a couple other ones. They weren't really diversified. Referendum will be huge. Their Telegram channel has grown fucking fast. You should have a look. It's the biggest Telegram channel for 10 days now. That's interesting. So, do they have rankings on Telegram channels, like in terms of the biggest ones? I don't know. Are you able to like get statistics or analytics on that? Because that's interesting. Here's the referendum token ICO. You can see here, really pumped, just recently, January 26th, January 28th. So for 2 days, had a lot of activity. There's that activity. OKEX, pretty much exclusively OKEX. Oh, sweet. Got my food here. Thank you. Yeah, this will work. Back looking at this. This is Referendum. So you can see a little bit here. And then you can kind of see how that coin was in ICO stage. Serve you anything you want here. This is great. Clover, so you're doing full-time trading? Yeah, well, I'm still trying to get my damn computer set up. I'm doing what I can. I've been doing just a little bit. I'm basically kind of doing what I'm advising on some of my streams. I'm doing the, you know, getting more into these smaller market cap coins in the different exchanges I'm in. So I'm at about, you know, 15 or 20 different exchanges, and looking to get in. I'd like to get into some of these Korean exchanges, trying to get in. I'm looking to build a server so I can start getting into trading bots, more, you know, some different software that I can hook up and have run on a 24-hour basis, and get more into doing some teaching on that and educating some people. So what I want to do is just education in general. Like, I think I could do it in the States, but like I get much better service here in Vietnam. People love what I'm doing here. Yeah, bot's the way to go. So probably stay on another 5 minutes or so and answer a few more questions. Keep this about 45 minutes or whatnot. Austin mentioned a good cheap bot for 300 bucks, but I forgot the name of it. There's been a couple, like there was one, I wrote it down somewhere. I got stuff all over my computer, but there's a lot of different automated bots. So the one that was way more technical, which was Hozbot, and that's what I was getting into. The thing is that I'm really interested with the Hozbot is learning and researching more of the algorithms and how those perform on different cryptocurrency pairs. And there's a lot of data there that you need to kind of digest and look through, because coins, some of the coins react differently on the market. There's some people that really look at some of the bigger coins, like the top 5 or whatever. They don't look a whole lot at the smaller coins or whatnot. These smaller coins in the top 100 or whatnot, they all kind of have a little bit of different activity. They all kind of trade a little bit differently. They all kind of peak in the market at different times and for different reasons. And really, I think what you need is there's so many you can kind of look at the market as a whole. You can say, hey, you know, those are going up, those are going down, and kind of base some different positions. Really what you need is you need to establish a position before they tend to have these breakouts. So you want to get in when the market's a little quiet and when people have kind of forgotten about it, but it's still kind of trending. So a lot of those coins I just mentioned, especially the ones that are down a little bit or haven't really, you know, kind of popped in the market, those are good ones to get into, and maybe just put in like a cap. Put in, you know, if you double your money, one of the things you could do is say the coin doubles, you could sell the half that doubled. So you could get into a coin, get into a position, and then sell half of your position when the coin value doubles. And that's one way to kind of look at it. And then you're always kind of like playing with currency that you're kind of earning by getting into these smaller market cap coins, and then you're gaining more cryptocurrency to work with and to trade with. Not all of them are going to do all that well, and unfortunately sometimes you got to hold on to them for a really long time. You need to hold your bags. You know, you only lose when you sell. It's kind of a common saying, and that's kind of one way of looking at that, is basically you're getting into some of these with the understanding that they could, maybe not perform all that great. They're not going to crash like BitConnect, most likely. You don't really see that as normal behavior on the market. Clover, can you program Hozbot to do whatever you want, or is it locked down like Profit Trailer? I haven't played around with Profit Trailer. I'm interested in that, but you do have a lot more flexibility with Hozbot to program it and have it transact how you want it to, and it's kind of based on a lot of different things. So if you anticipate, there are certain algorithms that do well in kind of bearish and bullish markets and sideways trending markets. There's different ways of kind of putting in flash crash safeties and things like that into some of the coins that tend to be a little bit more volatile and will really drop in value very quickly. You can kind of get into a situation where if you're up a little bit in that coin, you can protect your position by putting in some safeties and some different indicators, and you can add more of those indicators, and you can make them a little bit more complex, and you can run a lot of them. The problem that I was having when I was there, kind of working out of this, and it may have been because of just being in California and the internet service provider we were with, but the API kept dropping out, and we weren't able to connect with some of the exchanges all the time. So there was IT issues with that, and so it's a growing process. Some of these automated ones might be a little bit simpler to use. People are going to want some money to use some of these bots, and they may or may not be successful. I'm more interested in just getting into something that's going to, not like these push button solutions. I want to get behind the tech. So when is the BitConnect exchange happening? April, apparently. I think that's when it was. Clover looks like the BitConnect logo behind you. Yeah? What do you guys think? Amazing coffee. Nice here. This is amazing cafe. It's nice. I got like outdoor area here. Let's see. It's kind of closed off. We got birds. This place is brand new. What kind of camera? This is just an iPhone with my Osmo. Yeah, I get some girls on my stream here. I'm just getting more and more of the Vietnamese girls used to being on camera. Some of them are still a little shy. Oh, these birds do not like me. All right, I'm gonna head in here. Too tall for this place. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna eat my lunch here. So I'll try to get on earlier. I know like a lot of you guys you're either staying up super late watching my stream or you're in another part of the world. So we got some drunk people on here. Yeah, I bet you get stared at if that's a standard door size. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a giant. What's going on, Big Connection? Yeah, it's midnight, California. All right, guys. So I'll try to come up with a new topic for my stream for next one. So this one was kind of, you know, those two things, and then what I'm gonna do is bring you guys a little bit more trading perspectives once I get my station set up. So I'm working on that. I'm getting that set up. Hopefully I have that done. I'll probably do the stream tomorrow from my trading station, so you guys can kind of see what I'm working on. All right, you guys, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.